Welcome to the Mastering Fulfillment podcast, where we focus on bridging your success with fulfillment in your personal, business, and spiritual life. And now your hosts, Scott Berry and Joshua Wenner.
Hello, I'm Scott Berry, and welcome to the Mastering Fulfillment podcast. My partner in crime, Josh Wenner, is on vacation, and on today's Minisode, I'd like to take a moment to discuss inspired action versus willpower. This is one of those areas when you start to become a little bit more conscious about the decisions that you make, the people that you bring into your life, and just what you surround yourself with. You really start to set yourself up for success and more fulfillment. So often the reason why we don't end up following through on the things that we really want to do. These are the passions that we're looking to integrate. This is the business that we're trying to start. These are the deeper connections that we're looking to bring more into our lives with our loved ones, with our family members, and our community at large. This is the reason why we don't end up sticking and following through with what we're intending to do. So if we want long-lasting results and growth, we need to really focus on what is the why? What is our emotional why for what we're doing? And it's from that place which will keep us going. So to give you a personal example, I'm an entrepreneur. I've started about 3 businesses, and back in 2012, I started my coaching and counseling practice because I was really inspired by the work that I'm doing. And there is no question to me that this is part of my dharma, this is part of my calling, and this is part of my offerings to the world. And so I started doing free sessions for about a year, and then slowly started to gain a more professional side of my practice. Now, with any business, there are obviously the things that you get into business that you do is because there's a passion, there's a pull, that there's something inspired of why you do it, right? I also DJ, and being on stage and sharing my musical gifts with the world, or being with a client and helping them break through or reach new levels of passion and sex drive and communication in their relationship, there's almost nothing better. Like, these are the times I'm in my peak flow state. So that's what keeps me going. That's the inspired pull that keeps me going when, I'm having a DJ and I'm driving 4 hours to a gig. That's not fun. I'm not passionate about that. Or when your set gets bumped and, you go from a midnight slot to a 4 a.m. slot. The same goes with my coaching practice, and I'm having to set up my credit card payments, and I'm having to set up QuickBooks, and I'm having to do all the back end stuff that has to support my passions and what I'm here to do. And those little items on their own are really hard to get through. And if I didn't keep reminding myself why, and this is not even necessarily a conscious thing, but what I'm really doing is I'm focusing on what is the end result that I'm looking to do. What is the emotional pull of why I'm actually doing these things? And when I can remind myself of that, I remind myself of, wow, when I'm up there on stage and I'm actually sharing my music with the world, what is the emotional feeling that I'm getting? And reminding myself of how good that feels. Or when I'm actually doing this podcast, because I know that whether there's 2,000 or 200 or even 2 people that listen to this and is able to get some little bit of insight, some inspired action to shift and to maybe integrate something into their own world, that gets me such a huge spiritual high that's what keeps me going to do all of the other background stuff in order to make all of this happen. And so as you start to bring any of these other things into your life, and you're starting to bring in new goals or new behaviors or start new projects, you got to keep reminding yourself, what is it? Why are you actually doing this? And what is the emotional feeling that you're looking to get for it. You don't ever go on a diet ultimately to lose weight. And you don't even necessarily do it just so you look better. You do it because you feel better in your clothes. You do it because you feel more confident when you get into a bathing suit. You do it because when you go exercise, you have more stamina. You do it because when you go to the park with your kids or you go hiking with your buddies, you just have more stamina. And when you can just remember the ultimate why of why it is that you're doing the things that you're looking to step into, then you're being pulled by inspiration. You're being pulled by spirit. Otherwise, you're pushing through willpower. This is the reason why most diets never end up working, because they're not focused on the why. They keep thinking of the lack. So when that starts to become the top of mind of their mindset, it makes it so much harder to go to the gym or to eat right or do any of the things that they're looking to do. So again, this is just another quick reminder to check in and to keep asking yourself, what is it the why? What is the emotional reason of why it is that you're doing these specific things? And I think once you start to get that clarity, a couple things are going to happen. One is it's going to keep you going through inspired pull and inspired action. And the second is you'll start to drop off the things that actually really don't mean that much to you. And the things that you thought you may want to move into, but when you start to get a little bit more clear, you start to realize, wow, maybe this isn't the direction that I'm looking to go. Maybe I need to pivot a little bit, and maybe I need to look into another direction, and ultimately get to a point where we start to become pulled by spirit. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to reach out to me or Josh on our Facebook page, or you can reach us at the Mastering Fulfillment website. Or if you want to get in touch with me directly, my name is Scott Berry, and my website is alchemicempowerment.com. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next episode. Much love.